Hello everyone, welcome to a video I think will be remembered for a while. I'm here to talk about a game that I've not really heard many other VR YouTubers talk about, and I think it'll be one of the biggest games for PC VR for years to come, when it's ready. What game is it? Well, first let's start with some stalling. Do you remember a game called Garrys Mod? You probably do. In fact, you probably logged a bunch of hours at some point in your life. It was a hugely successful game. It was based off the Source 1 engine, which is the same engine that ran games such as Half-Life 2, Portal, Portal 2, and many others including CS Source, of course. Hey, that rhymes. But what if I told you that a Garrys Mod 2 is actually in development? And I know a lot of people say, oh, but this game's like Garrys Mod, or if Garrys Mod 2 exists, this game would be it. Even I said that in the past about other games. But I actually mean there is a game in development right now that is the actual spiritual successor of Garrys Mod, made by Facepunch Studios. Garry himself is the one who emailed me the key for developer access. The game is called Sandbox, but it's kind of spelled with that weird symbol that you use once in a blue moon. Marketing. For the past few weeks, a bunch of people have been given access to this game, mostly developers and people that have shown a history of either developing maps, game modes, coding, all that good stuff, not actual players, because the game is still in heavy development. But why am I, a VR YouTuber, and some other things, bringing this game up? It looks to be, as far as this gameplay shows, only for flat screen. Well, what if I told you it won't be? I mean, yes, it will be, but also it will have VR support. And I'm not talking some, half-ass put together at the last minute mod for it to have VR support. I'm talking about native VR support. The game is actually being built in the Source 2 engine, which, Half-Life Alyx? That game? That game is built in the Source 2 engine. And a lot of the VR sort of coding and stuff that kind of made that game so great is still hard-coded in the SDK that Sandbox is using. However, this time, I must admit that VR is not available, well, for now. Not only will it have support for VR, it will have support for both VR and non-VR at the same time. So let me explain that a little bit. Let's say you open Sandbox. You see one game mode, Death Run. It says PC only. Well, that means, normal players get to play it and no VR. Okay, that exists. But you see right next to it, there might be a different mode. Maybe it's called, I don't know, Zombies VR or something. And next to it, it says VR only. Well, as soon as you load up that game mode, it will ask for your headset and bam, you're in a VR game mode built in Garrys Mod 2. But the biggest deal I think of all of them is they plan to even have support for both at the same time. To explain that a little bit further, imagine that, let's say there's a PC player, non-VR player, that's let's say spawning zombies or something or things in your way, and the VR player has to deal with them. That is the kind of game mode that you could build in this new Garrys Mod game. I'm gonna call it Sandbox from now on, because it's Garrys Mod 2, and you get it now, it's called Sandbox. The main reason I wanted to bring this up now, because I've had access for a few weeks actually, is because Garry himself, he's actually been starting to look into providing support early on now for VR. Me, myself, I did some Half-Life Alyx maps last year when the game came out and the tools also came out. They were a big hit, luckily, and I learned a lot about what level design is like for VR. And when Sandbox announced that they were gonna be supporting VR, I wanted in. And thankfully, I got a DM from Garry thanks to some friends who recommended me, and I have access. There are so many things, I can't even wrap my mind of what kind of game modes or maps I would want to create in this game. Sandbox is super intuitive. We'll be using C# instead of Lua, which Lua is something that people don't really like if you're in the coding community too much. It even has a feature called hot loading, which is, let's say someone is creating a game mode. Well, they want people to join their map and their game Well, the developer of that game mode can literally change the code and live publish it to the server while everyone is testing it at the same time. This does not work for maps because you still gotta compile maps, but for coding, that is a really robust and amazing system. The success of Garry's Mod was huge. And that wasn't even a VR game, but someone made a huge Garry's Mod VR mod for it. Garry's Mod VR mod. Tongue twister. And so many people use that to play the Half-Life 2 games in VR, since that's kinda not that easy these days. I can even see a time where maybe someone decides they want to import the entire Half-Life Alyx game and allow cooperative multiplayer within Sandbox. I can see this as a possibility. I mean, that's just a very simple idea. There could be a lot more things done that are even more amazing than that. But Source 2 is a very fantastic user-friendly set of tools. Having something as big as Sandbox have VR support will literally change PC VR forever. I mean, hey, who's to say that we won't see stuff like full body tracking, eye tracking, lip tracking in a game that is literally Source 2, Half-Life Alyx, anything that comes after. Anything is possible in this game, and I believe it's going to be one of the biggest things ever, and you should start watching that development right now. I hope I explained the game as best as I could to you. There's so much to go over about this game. It's going to be so big. The development's changing so fast every day. So many things were broken the first week, and so many things are new and fixed today. I'm standing around literally the work in progress new version of GM Construct, one of the most iconic maps from Garry's Mod. They are remaking it. So, what would you think would be an amazing game mode that someone could create for VR or non-VR and VR crossplay? I would really love your ideas because I swear to God, as soon as VR support is added, I mean, even before that, I want to start working on these things, these game modes for all of you, just like I did last year when I made some Half-Life Alyx maps. Because creating something and having VR players enter the worlds you create is something that these videos don't even come close to. Thanks for watching again, and I hope you all have a great day, and I hope I educated you on something amazing coming soon, because it really, really will be a game changer.